find the cosine of 105 degrees, and the person who gave you this thing said, we're going to use this formula right here. We're going to use this one to find the angle 105. And the way this is 105 is if you take 210 and divide it by 2, that's the same as 105. So can either one of you guys tell me which identity we're going to use? Is it double or half? And how do you know? Does either of you know?
Half.
That's right. How did you know it's half?
Just because just how it's written. And
because there's a 2 in the denominator. When you have one that looks like this, it's half. They're the only ones that have a 2 in the bottom. So I'm going to rewrite for you the formula for the half angle identity says this. Oops, not 2, sine, it's 2, my bad. Looks like that. Now, I want to figure out, am I going to use the positive or negative value in front of this radical? What's going to tell me if I have to use the positive or negative in front? Do you know that? So since it's quiet, I guess we don't know. Okay, this says 105 degrees. So you're supposed to know we start at the positive x-axis and we start going around the circle. So this is 0, this is 90, 180, 270, back to 360. So if I start here and go around, I hope you can see that 105 is in this quadrant. You guys okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, what quadrant's that?
The second one.
Quadrant 2. What are your ordered pairs signs in quadrant 2?
The x is negative and the y is
X
positive.
is negative and
Y is positive.
Y is positive. So we are doing the cosine. Which variable out of these two is the cosine?
The negative one.
That's right, negative. So that means we are not going to use the positive on this answer. So this is going to be a negative square root of 1 plus cosine. Now we're going to have a 2 down here. Now, this is u. Which part out of here is the u from this formula? If you look right there, there's the u. What's the u right here?
210.
So we would write 210 degrees, and that's it. Because all it did let me go up there and make sure. Let me read the directions. Oh, I did not tell you the truth. Okay, so anyway, we got to solve this because up the top, it says find the exact answer. I was on the other side. So now we got to go to this 210 degrees. Do you know where the what quadrant 210 degrees is on the unit circle?
It'd be in the third one.
That's right, 0, 90, 180, 270, back to 360. So I hope you see that 210 is going to be right in here. And that 210 is 30 degrees more than 180, but you don't really even need that. The ordered pairs here are negative radical 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. Now I need the cosine of 210. We just talked about this a second ago. Which one of these two things is the cosine of 210?
Negative radical 3 over...
That's right. The x is the cosine. Sine is the y. If that would have said sine 210, then we'd have used negative 1/2. So this is going to be a negative square root of 1, and I'm going to put minus because there's a negative here, minus radical 3 over 2, and this whole thing is over 2. Are you guys all right to there?
Yeah.
Now I have a complex fraction again because there's a fraction bar there and a fraction bar here. So what do I have to multiply this part by to get rid of that 2? What times this thing right here will get rid of the 2 in the denominator? This 2.
2 over 1.
Okay, so I'm going to multiply this top line by 2, and I got to multiply the bottom by the same thing. So I got to distribute this 2. This 2 times 1 is going to give me 2, and then when I take 2 times this, these 2 reduce. And I get this, and then down here in the bottom, I got 4. 2 times 2 is 4. What's the square root of 4?
2.
So I get 2 minus radical 3 all over 2, and I'm done. Now, do you want me to go over how to check it again?
I'm fine.
Pong, do you want me to check it?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to move my camera over here so you can see what I'm doing on my calculator. And you can do the same thing. Okay, so first of all, we are looking for this cosine of 105 right there. So I'm going to take my calculator, and I got to make sure I'm in the correct mode, which this is degrees. So I'm in degrees right there, it says degrees. So I'm going to hit second quit, and I'm going to do the cosine of 105 and hit enter. Now, I hope you see that right there is the answer to that thing over there to the left of this picture, cosine 105. That's the rounded answer. Now, what I want to do is see if my answer gives me that same thing. So I'm going to move my calculator over, and this should give me, this thing right here should give me the exact same answer that that decimal does all the way across there. So I'm going to hit alpha y equals 1 to get a fraction bar. Then in the top, I'm going to hit second square root, and I got 2 minus, and then I got to do second square root again, 2 minus radical 3, and then I'm going to arrow down to there and put a 2 in and hit enter. And we got a problem. I did something wrong. What did I do when I was working out this? Do you see how they're not the same? They're the same decimal, but wrong sign. I dropped something off as I was working out from here to here. What did I leave off from here to here?
The like negative sign outside the whole
Yeah,
radical.
that negative sign has to stay here and stay here. So I'm going to go back and put that negative sign back in. So see, if I would have written that answer like that, it would have been wrong. So I'm going to type that thing back in, and I'm going to go in front there and add a negative. And there we can see now it's the same as cosine of 105. So I made a small mistake that would have cost me a point on the test.
Mr. Woodrow.